everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. For two teams outside each other's division, this matchup has evolved into one of the great rivalries in the NFL. It should be a thrilling contest, and we can't wait to bring you the action. It's the Cowboys going up against the Texans. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and NRG Stadium in Houston. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
It's an Indian summer afternoon, perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the #1 overall selection back in 2005 out of the University of Utah. It's Alex Smith.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
Now Elliott. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 15 carries, 52 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that, but they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Second down, 8. They'll try the air now with Smith. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it 3rd down. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Bernard McKinney is one of the tallest inside linebackers that you'll see in the game, but he has the bulk to go along with it. And I do think that his height is actually an advantage for him. It used to be that you're worried about tall guys inside because they had to fight off low blocks. But I think his ability to see into the offensive backfield, see what's going on, and read it allows him to diagnose plays quicker and get there in a hurry.
From the gun on third down, Smith. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So on fourth down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Offensive starters here. Wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, a talented wide receiver.
And he's still looking for that ultimate recognition. He wants to be mentioned with the best receivers in the game. His numbers suggest that we should do so.
Second down following the run.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Ohio! Let's go! 38!
Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. Third down here. And now the defense for Dallas.
Sean Lee's one of my favorite players, and I don't mind saying it because I love his versatility. I can move him inside at the linebacker position. I can move him outside. I can rush him off the edge, rush him up the middle. He can drop into pass coverage. In fact, his versatility was on display even in his high school days, where he was a big-time high school basketball player that had a chance to play in college as well.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Come on, let's go! Ohio! Flex round!
From the gun, here's Watson. Flush to his right. And this is going to be incomplete. Coming in carrying the losing streak, not the start that they were looking for. 3 and out on the opening drive.
So now everyone's looking at each other. And what I mean by that is, who's going to make the right play? Who's going to get us out of the doldrums? Who's going to get us out of this funk that they're in right now? They've got to find someone who will make a play, create a play, and get their confidence moving in the right direction.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can...
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. J.J. Watt. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Here's Smith now on second down. And the pressure gets to him again. Christian Covington in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. A shotgun snap for Smith. Now he'll let it go deep right. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Give him 35 yards there on the third down conversion. Great patience in the pocket. Of course, it's easy to be patient when the protection's good, and it was.
Yeah, you got to pat those guys on the helmet and say thanks because they gave him plenty of time to stay back there, survey the field, go through the reads that he wanted to, and deliver the ball accurately. That was really well executed.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Kevin Johnson.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Play action for Miller. Now Watson. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Anthony Hitchens leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's Ellington.
Whoosh.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 2nd down, here's Smith. A dump off to Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And the Texans scoop it. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Following the fumble recovery, Smith. Right side catch, Gilmore.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty is going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
Smith now to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. Second goal.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And put a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for him.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. So an even first quarter on the scoreboard, but the threat of points on the... Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. Here we go now with Smith. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
This drive started with 1st and goal. Now that it's 4th and goal, anything less than a touchdown would feel like a letdown to me.
And Zerline's kick is good. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board. But the offense will go to the sidelines wondering what if. While the defense on the other side, they'll celebrate holding them to just a field goal after giving up such bad field position.
And now out comes Houston. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
Partner, I know the ball security is preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now? Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Look at the spin.
Balance.
Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. with Smith. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Out left side here to Bryant. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. 23 yards on the play.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They go back to the ground with Smith. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
Well, it's a 3rd and somewhat manageable now, not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
Now it's Smith. And he'll be out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
They'll run it now with Smith. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
On the ground, this is Smith. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And that should give his guys a spark. He's up all the way to the 44-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They target blitz coming, and down he goes. Sean Lee leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 7-yard gain that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The Texans send the punter out. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one up just shy of the 35 to the 34. A good pickup there at 22. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. On 1st and 10, Smith. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. J.J. Watt. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Smith to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Bryant. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now Smith. Complete to Gilmore, the tight end. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as he'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And into the red zone now. And, Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes. Make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. 2nd and 10, Smith again. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Smith. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And Zerline's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Or the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive. It just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows him.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Anthony Hitchens in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. So we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. A first down carry now for Miller. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Here's Watson, escaping the pressure right. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They'll try the air now with Watson. This one complete. It's C.J. Fedorowicz. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, 2nd down. fourth-round guy, and many thought that's about where he would go. But I think he's got some upside, right?
He can come right in and be what they call a core special teams player, play on all 4 phases of it, and have a chance to work his way into the lineup. I think a year or 2 down the road, they could have a solid starter.
Really, it's a solid draft class from a year ago. They were able to address some key weak spots on their team and fill in some holes.
And they were able to identify the players they wanted early in the process. Got a little bit of luck, as some guys may have fallen to them, but for the most part, knew their philosophy and stuck to it. Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Here we go.
Watson on 3rd down, setting up the screen for Miller. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Now Watson throwing the out route incomplete. That's Griffin. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Here we go.
Watson now to throw. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. And the seemingly endless drive continues. 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Now Watson on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Will Fuller, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some...
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. J.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Cowboys on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. From the gun, here's Smith. He completes it to Bryant. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A good pickup there, 26 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And a movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
On the carry, here's Smith. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. They'll fake it. Now Smith. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield, guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
They go play action here on first down. Complete to Bryant. Touchdown, Cowboys. Des Bryant, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed.
Back now here on EA Sports, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot. Yeah. But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Fuller brings it in over the middle. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up second down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Watson on first down. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
The offense operating inside the 10 at the 8 here. It's first and goal.
Let's go.
Back to throw, Watson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jay Bromley in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon.
Come on, let's go.
On second down, here's Watson. This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown saving tackle there. Now it's third and goal.
Here we go.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this Cowboy defense comes up with a goal line stand. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Now they try the right side here. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And last time they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. To throw on 2nd is Watson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. To throw is Watson. And he fires one, but incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards at a 1st.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Flushed out right. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Let's go.
Here's Watson now on second down. He's going to rifle one deep left. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And this one brought in by Gathers. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble. And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. On third down, it's Smith. Not much room here as he only gets into about the 30. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This will be fielded at the 17. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They were trying to get the connection with a former Buckeye, Braxton Miller. That'll bring up second down. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for him?
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off Byron Jones. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Nine yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of 2. Now third down. The Cowboys on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 11. And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will extend their lead even further. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Throwing again is Watson. And it's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Interference. Defense.
So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. On 1st down, it's Watson. And this is caught at the 8. And he's going to be marked down deep in Dallas territory. A gain of 32 that time. Again, it's Watson. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move them back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. That's what counts more.
Eluding the pressure right. Caught here by Griffin. And he is knocked down from the side. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. Watson looks to throw again. Being chased out left. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Now it's Watson. That almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on.
And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points.